Women, be ashamed. Be very ashamed. And I'll tell you why, because being ashamed makes a buck for somebody or other, or a pound, or a yen, or a euro, or whatever. I was surfing Amazon the other day and I came across this. I thought, well, you know, I do know a bit about the world, but I have to say I was quite shocked when I saw this, because there are young girls, and obviously this is a youngish person here, who are looking at this and thinking, oh, well, yeah, I'll have some of that. I had a look at the American website and I found the situation, well, it was just as bad, if not worse. Here is a whole variety of breast binders. And they're called chest binders usually, and they are, you know, you just type in tomboy, trans, lesbian, and you're going to get these, just so you know. So you're telling girls to be ashamed of their burgeoning figures. And this is a site called, well, it's a Cleveland Clinic, it says here, so it's a clinic, how to bind your chest safely. If you're transgender, non-binary or gender fluid, you may be thinking about binding your chest, a practice used to flatten and minimise the appearance of the breasts. But chest binding comes with certain risks. All right, let's have a look at this. Chest binding, a physician's guide. This is a site called Pride in Practice. Well, I think you can probably see where this is coming from. Transgender and gender non-binary individuals may choose to engage in various gender affirming practices. No. It's not gender affirming. It is gender hiding. Let's just get this straight. To reduce gender dysphoria. You know, if you have gender dysphoria, binding up your bits, whichever bits they are, is not going to reduce it. What reduces it is psychiatric or psychological help, either to talk you out of gender dysphoria or to help you come to terms with it. So you're a woman, you prefer to be on the masculine side of society. You can learn to come to terms with being a masculine woman. You don't have to change your appearance for that. Anyway, to reduce gender dysphoria or present in a way that is more congruent with their gender identity. In other words, you've got a 15-year-old girl, a bit embarrassed about her bosom, thinks she'd probably be better off as a boy, and wrapping herself up like this is going to help her. Well, what it is going to do is going to restrict her breathing. I have heard it can actually, you know, some girls can get so extreme they actually break ribs. Let's see, the mental health benefits that transgender and non-binary individuals experience from binding are striking. I'll bet they are. According to a landmark study on binding practices in the transgender community, roughly 70% of surveyed individuals reported a positive mood after starting to bind, compared to only about 7% who reported having a positive mood before binding. Look, you know, you can have a positive mood about anything, can't you? If you choose to have a positive mood. If you're being, but you know, it's much easier to just slap a bandage on it than talk to a psychiatrist for a couple of weeks or months or whatever. The Dern Becker Children's Hospital. This is a children's hospital about chest binding. They have a gender clinic. Chest binding is wrapping something around your chest to flatten your breasts. Chest binding can help people of any gender feel more comfortable with the way their chest looks and feels. Any gender? Well, if you're a boy, you're going to be pretty flat-chested if you're a boy. So what do you mean, any gender? You mean girls, don't you? And this is a children's hospital who will not name girls as girls. Binding can be helpful, but doing it safely is very important. Look, when you're a growing child, there is no safe way of restricting how you grow. You will damage yourself somehow. And of course, as some people get more and more extreme, you stand a chance of damaging yourself pretty badly. So yeah, be ashamed of being a girl. I'll show you another company that's making money out of showing girls they can feel ashamed to be girls. Here we are. Hijab for kids. And look at all of these. Look at that child there. How old do you think that kid is? 3 years old? Modest beauty. No, that thing is going over her ears. It's going to stop her hearing properly. It's going to restrict her head movements. And what really worries me about those things is that when she is playing in the playground, it's an area of weakness. Somebody could grab that and pull her head sideways. And kids do roughhouse. It could get caught on things. It's dangerous to do that. And yet here we are, modest beauty. And there's one, oh yeah, look. Mummy and me. How would she know that was a mummy? Indeed, how would that mummy know that was her child? It could be anybody. Just be ashamed. Be so ashamed you erase yourself. And why are companies doing this? It makes them money. It makes them money to tell girls to be ashamed of looking like women, and it makes money out of girls being ashamed of looking like human beings altogether. And we are not making enough of a fuss of it. You fellas, you should be making fuss too. This isn't just a women's issue. Because you will have daughters. You will wish to work with women. There was a case, a few years ago now, of a woman who applied for a job this was in Britain, in a school. She was a teacher. She had an interview. She turned up at the interview dressed modestly, but what we would call in the West normally. She turned up for class wearing the full face veil. And the school said that she couldn't do that because the children couldn't see her face. And she made an issue of it. It was obviously some sort of a plan to test the limits of British law. But that wasn't a money-making venture. That was some sort of a religious thing. But that's where it's going if this sort of thing is allowed to persist. And the only way we can stop it persisting is by everybody making a fuss, men and women. Okay, I know there's plenty to make a fuss about, but when you see this stuff, you should write and say. You should raise your voice. All right. Well, I'm raising my voice. I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. Please like this video and share it. And yeah, all the links to my other platforms as well as donation sites in the description. But really, just click that like button. Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.